Hello, I'm Christian Snyder. I'm doing my presentation on NCAA regulations. I got intrigued in the regulations of the NCAA when Terrell Pryor and his teammates got caught giving tattoos and merchandise to tattoo parlors so they could get free tattoos. After that, I was always intrigued on, what do they have to go through so they were eligible to play in the NCAA. There's so many different regulations for student athletes to deal with in the NCAA. We'll be stating a brief summary of the restrictions of an athlete in this presentation. Some of the things that a student athlete could do to make them ineligible for the season or for their career is a student athlete could take money or promise to pay to compete in any event that they have and that they do. I haven't heard about this happening that much. I know I'm a big USC fan, so Reggie Bush's parents took a whole bunch of money off of the university and they ended up revoking him from their Heisman Trophy. Other things is that the student athlete cannot get paid for their skills to be used. They can't use their name on a product. They can't get endorsed by a commercial. Pepsi can't walk up to them and say, we'll give you $30 million, or say Nike can't give them a $30 million shoe contract just to play basketball or football while they're in college. Like an example is they cannot play professional and then think they could go to college and play for a college team. If LeBron James wanted to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers and go to, say, Duke University, he can never play for Coach K, even though he is one of the greatest basketball players ever. There are a couple of exceptions to the rule. Prior to college, they could accept money based on a finish or a performance that they do before they enter their college years. After enrollment, they could accept money. Like if they did football camps or basketball camps, they are allowed to accept money and all that, but they're only allowed to accept money for as much as they have paid or put in to play for that said camp or summer activity that they've done. Their academic standards are really high for them too. They always have to be a full-time student in college unless it's their fifth year and there's no more courses that they could take for their to get their degree. They always have 5 years of eligibility. They're not allowed to have. They don't need to have a major until their junior year. Going into their third year, they need to figure out, more or less, if they what they want to do. Exercise science, civil engineering, anything. They have to figure out what their degree is. Also, going into their third year of college, they need to have 40% of their course requirements completed. They, that third year seems like a big year for them. They either need to have, like I said, 40% they have to have 40% of their course requirement, and they have to figure out what they want to do and what they want their major to be. So, in conclusion to this, I would like to state that, a student athlete has a rigorous schedule they have to do. They have to be a full-time student. They have to make sure they do everything they can. They got to have, at least a 2.0 grade point average to be eligible to play that sport. A lot of things. You got to watch who you hang out with. You got to watch who's giving who what. You can't talk to agents. You have to watch your back. You have to learn to be there for yourself and not let anybody influence anything that you want to do. I hope that in this little presentation it gave you a brief background on what the NCAA sanctions are for a student athlete. I don't know. I hope it intrigued you like it did me. I think it's a big deal that our athletes are out there trying to balance school and work, as a professional or as a college athlete. I think they have a harder job than a professional athlete. You know, juggling school and their sport they have to do is a big deal. Lastly, I'd just like to thank everybody for taking the time out to listen to my presentation. I hope it, like I said earlier, helped you understand a little bit what the student athlete has to go through. And other than that, thank you and have a nice day.